In October of 2017, a telescope in Hawaii picked up something weird. A long, flat object hurtling into our solar system at a fucking ridiculous speed. At first, astronomers thought, meh, it's just a comet or asteroid, until it started getting strange. It was moving too fast, way faster than anything we'd ever seen come from outside our solar system. That alone was enough to raise eyebrows, but it didn't stop there. This thing, called Oumuamua, was shaped nothing like anything we've cataloged before. Instead of being round or rocky, it was long and thin, like a needle in the void. And it was tumbling end over end in a way that didn't match any natural motion we've ever observed. And then, just when scientists thought they were starting to get a grip on it, it fucking sped up. Yeah, it changed speed without a visible source of propulsion. No gas jets, no debris trail, shit, nothing. It violated the basic rules of physics of how objects are supposed to behave in space. That's when some scientists, quietly first, started asking a question that would have sounded insane just a few years ago. What if Oumuamua wasn't natural at all? What if it was sent? In this video, we're diving deep into everything we know and don't know about the most mysterious visitor our solar system has ever seen, and why some of the smartest people on Earth think it was likely alien tech. Oumuamua showed up on radar on October 19, 2017, when a team of astronomers in Hawaii were scanning the skies using the Pan-STARRS-1 telescope. They were doing what astronomers do, keeping an eye out for asteroids and comets that might be heading uncomfortably close to Earth. But what they found that day didn't look like anything they'd seen before. At first, it looked like just another small blip. But this thing was hauling ass, way faster than the ship we usually track that's orbiting around the sun. When it was first seen, it was 21 million miles from Earth. Now that sounds like a lot, but astronomically, that's pretty fucking close. And when they traced its trajectory, it became clear. This thing wasn't from around here. It came from outside our solar system. Specifically, the Vega star in the northeastern constellation of Lyra. The first ever confirmed interstellar object. It was traveling at 85,700 miles per hour. It had a deep reddish hue, which was normal for asteroids with a lot of metal in their composition. They named it Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word that translates to a messenger from afar arriving first. That tracks pretty good, considering what was about to happen. Now, here's where things get interesting. Oumuamua was estimated to be a half-mile long and about 115 feet wide, which is a totally fucked up shape for a natural space rock. Most asteroids and comets are lumpy, roundish, or irregular blobs. But this damn thing was long and skinny and looked like a cosmic turd. Then there's the lack of a tail, or coma, that atmospheric area around the main body of a comet. Comets from deep space, especially when they get anywhere near the sun, heat up and start releasing gas or dust. That's what gives comets those kick-ass glowing tails and some serious speed. But Oumuamua? There wasn't shit. No gas, no dust trail, no sign of material burning off or venting. Hell, it just went straight through, bone dry. Ouch. And here's the part that really blew the door off the shithouse. As it exited our solar system, it started speeding up on its own. It's called non-gravitational acceleration, but that shit's not supposed to happen. Once an object passes the sun, it should slow down due to the sun's gravity pulling back on it and just coast out into space like it's in neutral. But Oumuamua picked up speed. Astronomers started looking for any possible explanations. Maybe some gas venting out one side caused a little rocket-like boost? But again, no gas was detected. No debris either. No visible means of propulsion at all. It just went faster, tumbling and spinning through space like a sketchy carnival ride. So, long story short, we've spotted a long, skinny object from another star system entering ours. No tail, no outgassing, moving way too fucking fast, and then speeding up and changing direction as it left. Every one of those things on its own is pretty damn weird, but all of them together? That's when the astronomical community started to feel like maybe this wasn't just a boring old rock from space after all. Shit, you think? Now, to be clear, scientists didn't immediately jump to aliens. Of course they didn't. But something about this damn thing wasn't adding up. And the more closely they looked at it, the more fucked up it got. So once it was clear that Oumuamua wasn't acting like a typical comet or asteroid, scientists started throwing around possible explanations. Natural ones. Not everyone was ready to jump on the alien tech train just yet. Most of the scientific community tried to stay grounded. Literally. They were focusing on shit that could still fit inside the box of what we think we understand about space. One of the first big theories was that maybe Oumuamua was just a chunk of something larger. A piece of a planet or asteroid that got blown apart in another solar system some 300,000 years ago. Picture some violent cosmic event, an explosion, a collision, or even a star going supernova that sent debris flying in every fucking direction. Oumuamua could have been one of those fragments, ejected with enough speed to travel across interstellar space and eventually pass through our neighborhood. That could explain the strange-ass trajectory without having to invent a new kind of object. Another idea that got some traction was the hydrogen iceberg theory. This one's pretty goddamn wild, but still within the boundaries of science. The idea is that maybe Oumuamua was made mostly of solid hydrogen, which would be almost impossible to detect with telescopes because hydrogen gas is invisible and doesn't leave a trail we can easily see. If it was slowly evaporating hydrogen as it got closer to the sun, that could potentially explain the mystery acceleration, like a silent little fart we just couldn't see, but could smell. But there were problems with that theory too. For one, we've never seen a hydrogen iceberg before, ever. Not in our solar system or anywhere else. And hydrogen is super fragile. It would have had to survive a long, cold-ass trip through space without evaporating before it got here. So, yeah, cool theory, but it's skating on thin ice. A third theory suggested that maybe it was a shard of nitrogen ice, something chipped off the surface of a Pluto-like planet in another solar system. Nitrogen ice can exist naturally, and it can change from solid to gas without becoming liquid first. If Oumuamua was made of nitrogen ice, it could have been venting just enough gas to cause that mysterious acceleration without leaving a visible trail. But Oumuamua was never proven to be made of nitrogen ice. Each of these ideas had its pros and cons. But the thing is, none of them explained everything perfectly. Every theory patched up one part of the mystery but left other parts open. Still, most scientists lean toward a similar conclusion. Maybe this shit was just something totally natural, but at the same time, something we ain't never seen before. In the end, the consensus of the mainstream science world is that Oumuamua is probably a rare, exotic, natural object, a one-in-a-million kind of visitor. Strange? Yes. Mysterious? Abso-fucking-lutely. Interesting idea, but it doesn't quite hold water. Some scientists, though, have an entirely different take. One that's out of this world. Now it's time to crank up the chaos and fuck everything up. Enter Avi Lobe, a theoretical physicist from Harvard with a resume longer than a CVS receipt. When most of the scientific community was twisting itself into knots trying to explain Oumuamua as some kind of natural object, Lobe raised his hand and said, fellas, what if it's not natural at all? Cue the record scratch. Lobe wasn't just some tinfoil hat blogger or some derpy podcast host. He's chaired Harvard's astronomy department for years, worked on legit NASA programs, and he's the Frank B. Baird Jr. Professor of Science at Harvard University. Nobody's got receipts like he does. And yet, in 2018, he published a paper that basically said, look, the natural explanations about this thing don't explain shit, so it's possible we're looking at something artificial. His main theory? That Oumuamua could be a solar sail. Picture something extremely thin and wide, like a lightweight aluminum foil, propelled not by rockets or engines, but by starlight itself. Kinda like how a sailboat catches the wind, but in space. That would explain why Oumuamua accelerated without releasing visible gas or debris. It wasn't outgassing, it was being pushed. To be fair, Lobe wasn't claiming little green men were piloting the thing. He just said that if a civilization were advanced enough, they could build objects like this to explore other solar systems. Hell, Japan launched a spacecraft that successfully demonstrated solar sail technology on May 20th, 2010. It got up to a speed of 55,800 miles per hour. The successful mission proved that sunlight could be used for propulsion, marking a major fucking milestone in space exploration. Oumuamua, in his view, might be a piece of alien space junk, or maybe even a dead probe that had been drifting for ages. But man, did that shit piss people off. Other scientists absolutely fucking slammed him. Some said he was chasing headlines. Others called the theory reckless, even insulting to the scientific process. A few rolled their eyes and said, whatever. Lobe, for his part, didn't really give a shit. As a matter of fact, he said fuck that and doubled down. In interviews, he started calling out the scientific community for having their heads too far up their asses to entertain anything outside their precious little bubble. Lobe's point wasn't just about Oumuamua, it was about how science works. He argued that if we're truly committed to understanding the universe, we can't shut down wild ideas just because they make us uncomfortable, especially when the safe theories don't fully explain all the shit that's going on. And honestly, he made a damn good point. Even his haters had to admit the hydrogen and nitrogen theories were leaking like a busted faucet. So if those natural explanations don't quite fit, why is the alien angle taken off the table? Lobe even wrote a book about it, Extraterrestrial, where he hands you the facts without all the academic gymnastics. It's not just a rant about UFOs, it's an open invite to challenge the status quo. A push to stop treating aliens like a damn punchline and start asking serious questions when something truly fucked up shows up at our cosmic front door. Whether he's right or not, Lobe's willingness to say the quiet part out loud blasted the door wide open for a lot of people. Scientists, believers, skeptics, and everyone in between to take a fresh look at the Oumuamua mystery. And honestly, once you start pulling at the edges of a mystery like this, shit, you never know what the hell's gonna unravel. So, where does that leave us now? Well, for years, the story was, we never got a picture of Oumuamua, just light curves and orbital data. It was basically the celestial equivalent of hearing a weird noise in your house and never finding out what the fuck it was. But that shit changed November 12, 2024. This right here, this infrared image, is Oumuamua captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. And yeah, it's not a crystal fucking clear HD photo, but it's something. You can easily make out the structure. You can see its form. That doesn't look like a rock. It obviously doesn't look like a comet. It looks, well, fuck it, artificially constructed. That's like shooting steroids into a Bigfoot that was already foaming at the mouth. Because even with this image, the object is long gone. It came in hot, weirded everyone out, and flew back into deep space before we had a chance to send anything after it. There's no fucking way to chase it down with the tech we've got now. It was like a cosmic drive-by. Blink and you missed it. And let's not forget, before 2017, we had never seen an interstellar object enter our solar system. Then, Oumuamua shows up, acting totally fucked. In 2019, along comes 2I Borisov, another interstellar visitor, which did behave like a classic comet. Tail, gas emissions, a coma, predictable orbit, the whole package. It was like the universe handed us a real interstellar comet just to highlight how off the rails Oumuamua really was. And even with this new image in hand, scientists are still scratching their heads. There are quiet conversations happening behind the scenes. Researchers who admit they just don't know. The shape doesn't fit. The acceleration doesn't make sense. Whatever's going on, it's playing by its own damn rules, and the lack of outgassing is proof. The official story still clings to natural explanations because that's the safe option. But the fact that we even have this image now cracks that door open a little wider. It adds weight to the idea that it's 100% something artificial. A probe, a solar sail, an abandoned alien ship, something from way the fuck out there. And here's the kick in the ass. We still don't know what the hell we're looking at. We finally got a photo and somehow made things even weirder. That doesn't happen with normal space rocks. So, what's the final play here? An object from another star system, unlike anything we've ever seen. It didn't behave like a comet or an asteroid. It moved in ways we can't fully explain. And now, it might have left us with a game-changing image. That's not just an astronomical oddity. That's a mystery with real fucking teeth. Whatever Oumuamua was, it came from the stars, passed through our solar system like it was on a mission, and disappeared without a trace. However, it left behind one clue. The fallout from Oumuamua didn't stay locked up in dusty scientific journals. It blew the hell up across the culture. As soon as word got out that something weird had zipped through our solar system and that respected scientists were whispering, "Hey dude, what if this fucker isn't natural?" That was all it took. The alien conversation kicked back into high gear. Suddenly, SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, got a serious shot of adrenaline. After years of kind of simmering in the background, people started asking louder, "Why aren't we looking harder? What if we've been missing stuff like this for decades?" Funding proposals started ramping up. Observatories got more eyes and more ears pointed at the stars. This one freaky visitor jump-started a new wave of scanning the skies, not just for radio signals, but for physical objects too. And then there's the ripple effect in pop culture. Sci-fi writers went batshit crazy. Oumuamua started popping up in novels, movies, podcasts, hell, you name it. Alien hunters who'd been shouting into the void for years suddenly found the void hollering back. Conspiracy theorists latched on immediately. Some say it wasn't the first visitor, just the first one we caught. Others claimed it had dropped something off. But this time, the tinfoil hat crowd wasn't alone. Many mainstream voices were also saying, "Okay, it's a good possibility." You know, it's funny how this lined up perfectly with the government finally letting some info about UAPs slip out. We had the Navy pilot footage, Pentagon briefings, House Oversight Committee meetings, and official statements all pretty much saying, "Yeah, we don't know what the hell these are either." So when Oumuamua busted ass through and didn't act like a rock, or didn't act like a comet, people connected the dots pretty fucking easily. Are we looking in the wrong place? What if the real watchers aren't just hovering over us, but watching beyond the stars? And then there's Avi Lobe. This dude didn't just drop his solar sail theory and dip. Nope, he doubled down, hard. In the wake of all the bullshit, he launched Project Galileo, a privately funded effort to search the skies for signs of alien tech, specifically shit like Oumuamua. It wasn't just about listening for alien signals anymore. It was about finding stuff, craft, debris, satellites, whatever might be chilling out in the solar system or drifting through nearby space. Lobe made it very clear. Science shouldn't be afraid to follow the data just because it might lead to something scary. And like it or not, Oumuamua smacked the door wide open to that dusty vault. It made the what if feel a whole lot more like why the fuck not? So yeah, this one weird-ass traveler lit a fire under science, fiction, conspiracy, and government transparency all at once. It made us look harder at the skies, question our assumptions, and consider that maybe we're not as alone or as ignored as we thought. Whatever the truth is, the cultural waves of Oumuamua are still spreading. And if these are only the first ripples, what happens when the real tide rolls in? We might never really know what the hell Oumuamua was. Maybe it was just a weird rock from another star system, tumbling through space like cosmic driftwood. Maybe it was a probe, something built, not born. Or maybe it was something even stranger, something we don't even have a goddamn word for yet. But whatever it was, it didn't stick around. For just a few brief weeks, this damn thing came screaming into our solar system, completely unannounced. It didn't light up our skies. It didn't send up a signal. It didn't do fucking donuts around Earth or beam anyone up. It pulled up, set fire to the astronomic rulebook, and dipped. No fucks given. And that's the part that sticks with you. Oumuamua didn't behave like anything we've ever seen before. It was silent, it was fast, and it was very fucking different. It didn't ask for attention, and it didn't leave much behind. Just data points, questions, and a gut-deep sense that we missed something big. That we're being watched. Maybe it was just space junk from a distant system, like a message in a bottle that drifted too far from home. Or shit, maybe it was a message, one we weren't ready to read. Hell, maybe it was someone knocking, softly and just once. And if that's the case, you really gotta ask yourself, who sent it? Why now? And what the fuck were they looking for? And maybe, most unsettling of all, what happens if they decide to come back? We like to think we've got a good grip on the universe, that we'd know an alien visitor if we saw one. But maybe the truth is way subtler. Maybe it slipped past us in the form of a long, thin object that spins in weird-ass ways and doesn't follow orbital rules. Maybe we already had our first contact, and maybe we missed it. If this video spaced you out, tap that like button and subscribe. That way you won't miss out on more of my fucked up commentary. And besides, I really do appreciate it. Is Oumuamua just some rogue asteroid, or is it something way bigger? Let me know in the comments. And if you really want to hook me up, click on that join button below the title and become part of my YouTube membership. For as little as $2.99, y'all can help me out more than you know. Until next time, y'all keep it real, keep it chill, and stay creepy! Catch you on the flip. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are the real beast.